Well, let me tell you all a story about a man named Stu. He's been working on radios for me and you. He can fix 'em, he can tune 'em, he can do most anything. Send your rig to Stu, he's the radio king. Check him out on YouTube, you can watch him hard at work. Seeing him do repairs is just another perk. 30 years at the craft, he really knows his stuff. He never met a job that was ever too tough. DXRadioShopNY.com, Clyde, New York.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to DX Radio Shop on our morning net today. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Anybody wants to go ahead and check in, feel free to do so. We have our morning net going on for a short time this morning. Monday morning, January 6th. We all know what today is, right? Inauguration Day. What's everybody got planned today? Drop in the comments. Let me know what you guys got going on today besides getting up for work and having your morning coffee and all that wonderful stuff. That's all set now. Yeah, we're going to work on this old Navajo base today. 15 degrees Oklahoma. That's what Mr. Kevo says. Well, it is currently 16 degrees here in New York. So I got 1 degree better than you do, I suppose. So this is the old Navajo base station. That'll be our next project today. We're not going to work on it just yet. We're just doing our morning check-in nets. If anybody else wants to check in, say hello, say good morning, feel free to do so. Monday morning, see who all is up and around grabbing their cup of coffee. Whoever wants to jump in and say good morning, feel free to do so. There's Mr. Michael. How are you? Good morning to you. Try to get things back in a routine for our morning net. We've been off for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks from doing this because kids are on vacation from school, so we figured we'd take a little break for ourselves. And we're back at it again. So, back into the routine of our morning nets, and we'll begin with all of our wonderful live stream repairs here at the DX Radio Shop. Everybody loves to come and watch because we show a lot of informative information for sure, and we show you detailed work, what to do, what not to do, etc. So this is definitely the place to come to watch if you want to learn into the hobby. Anybody else wants to check in, feel free to do so. And go ahead and say good morning, jump in, or just put a smiley face or a thumbs up or something. And hit that like key too as well, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, we had about 4 inches of snow overall where I'm at. Everybody else has between 3 and about 5 feet, 6 feet of snow. We didn't get a whole lot, so we had just a little bit of a lake effect the other day. So most of it's pretty well, melting down pretty quick. Leadfoot says no snow. 19 degrees, a little bit warmer down there. Good morning to you, Matt. How are you?
He's like your stalker fan, you know what? Your live streaming gets on, you get off, and he calls you.
Yeah. I just waited for the school bus here for my son, and then take my daughter to school, and we can begin our day and do all kinds of wonderful repairs. Michael says 24 degrees where he's at. 10 miles an hour with the wind. No snow so far. Cool. We have just a very slight dusting that we see on the roadway of the driveway this morning. So. What do you want? Earbuds and what? I didn't hear the first part. What is it? Snip? Oh, okay. Anybody else want to jump in there and check in and say good morning? Put a thumbs up, put a smiley face, put a cup of coffee icon, whichever. Is he here? Alright, see you. Have a great day, buddy. I love you. See, the best part about my kids here, they get to come out to a nice warm garage every morning while they wait for school. Years ago, it was always cold out here, but now they got it all renovated and set up for my shop. Now it's a lot easier for them because they can relax and not have to stand out here in the cold garage waiting for the school bus or peeking out the window. So much easier out here. I get the chance to spend a little time with him before he goes to school and get up every morning, make breakfast for my kiddos. That's the best part about being a parent. Make sure the kiddos are all set, get my morning nap, and then jump into the repairs. Get this one all ready and prepped a little bit. This will be my first project today. Wow, very clean inside. Looks like it's all original. Goodness gracious. I think it is original. Well, I'll be. How about that? Let me tell you what. Let's take a gander, shall we? Everybody would like to see what it looks like inside. It's an old antique 40-plus year old radio that's very clean. That is extremely clean. I'm going to say this is all original. Looks like to me. This is go where I want it. There we are. Very good. And the chrome, everything. This is nice and clean. Nothing. This is very clean. It's definitely original. That is for sure. Let's scope this out a little bit. See a little peek. Yep. No, she's definitely all original. Wow. That's a rare thing to see these days. For sure. PA mode. Alright. Yeah, 4-watt dead key. Yeah, no, this is what they were set in. This is all factory. Well, that's a beautiful thing. I don't have to chase somebody else's mistakes first thing in the morning. I love that. That's awesome. Wonderful. Just wonderful. I get a nice, easy kickoff for the day. Work on something that's very antique but yet clean, and we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. Just need to clean the controls, and I said it's all original. Wipe down the lens in the front, a little dusty. Looking great. Let's get this out of the way. Flip around over, get the bottom cover off. I'm going to check for any kind of center flow issues. Nothing's dried out, no. Nothing's dried out at all. No caps, no nothing's dried out. That's amazing. Which means he probably stored this in an area that was climate controlled. Would be my guess, because this is extremely clean. Yeah, these screws have never been taken off. put some downward pressure on that just to break the screw loose. Yeah, this is definitely all original. This is like almost like having a brand spanking new radio, but you know, being that it's used cosmetically, etc. But whoever owned this has never taken this apart, not even to have it tuned. It's pretty good. What? Oh, I made up the sausage. Fridge. Excuse me, I had some. I had one link. You would think a 40-plus old radio would have some dried out capacitors, but I don't see nothing wrong with this radio right now. It's pretty impressive, everybody. World Radio, good morning to you. How are you, Mr. Richard? Good to see you on. Yeah, that is extremely amazing to see. Everything is original in here. Nothing has been touched at all. I want to point something out for people who want to learn. Let me show you something. This is what's nice about these older radios. After you become a good tech, I've done this for many years, but if you're just learning, this is a great opportunity to find one of these radios, and I'll tell you why. So when you follow along in the schematic, let me do like this for example. What you see here is very important, especially for the people who don't know, like the hackers, you know. So here's what you do. You look at the board, and you understand the board, right? Read the schematic, understand the board. Well, if you don't know what you're looking at, because you're looking at a book, and then you're trying to match it up to the board, right? What do you see on the board? This is what they did with these Navajos years ago. You know, it was a great thing. That's what helped me out years ago. And I want to point this out to everybody. Look right here. It says unlock. It says transmit oscillator. It says TX, transmit mix. There's your S meter. You got, this is your, okay, it says IR 501. Here it says lamp 2. Receive audio frequency. I want to pass this, sorry, right here. IC 301. Here's your second, Roman numeral number 2, second IF. That's your transmit AF under here. Excuse me. Plus 7 volts off this pad. AGC circuit. First IF. You can see where it's written on the board. Buffer. And right here, squelch. SQ for squelch. AMC for modulation. 13.8 rail volts. External speaker. PA. 13 volts ground. Let's see, RF power underneath here. Under that bar says RF power. Yeah, I'm sure they got more under this too on the board. It kind of gives you a breakdown where you want to go. So let's say, for example, the radio is not transmitting and it's not receiving. Where's the first place you want to go? Well, you want to see, is the radio out of lock? Well, if it's out of lock, it says right here, unlock. So then you go on the other side of the board. Inside this housing is your PLL circuit. You'd want to go here and test and find out what the voltages are if it's out of lock. If it's out of lock, we know we got a PLL. If it's locked, then we know that the PLL is working. We got to go out to our reference oscillator, which is our 10.240 crystal, and then trace it from there and so forth. So they kind of break it down into sections where you want to be on the board. So if you're learning how to do radio repair and you're doing it honestly, really wanting to learn for the passion and for the knowledge and the skill, not for the hack and a quick dollar, don't be that person. If you want to learn this the right way, get radios like this and get a service manual, and it'll teach you exactly where you need to go. So right here's your tune circuit, there's your S meter, here's your unlock, here's your transmit oscillator. I just mentioned that. So if this was locked, we're going to go here to our next phase, to our transmit oscillator. I want to see what's happening. Is my developed signal from here going through my transmit oscillator? So it kind of breaks it down into sections, and you go to your mixer and so forth. Okay, so there's different sections in a radio, and this actually will help you. This is like a very informative time of the video, guys, because this is something you can really learn if you're very tuned in to wanting to repair radios or learn how to repair radios. These older radios have them written on the board. For the ones who don't have them written on the board and you're not quite sure, you really got to do your homework and study and do the research, because if you don't know, then unless you have a book that shows you exactly what the board looks like and point to the board like a lot of these service manuals do, but some don't. And a lot of them on CB Tricks won't show you that, but a lot of them will at the same time, which that's a very good site to go to for your information. But again, this will tell you what to do, etc. So let's say we have no sound, right? No receive audio. Then right there, RXAF. This is your receive audio frequency. So somewhere in here is where my audio signal is developed, and somewhere I'm losing sound out. If it's not the speaker, or if it's not a broken receive mic wire on the microphone itself, it could be due to this area. So that's just kind of some ideas to talk about. Transmit. Let's say it doesn't transmit. RF power. Well, we know RF power is our power output. So we would go over here to this section to find out, do we have our voltages? Is the final good? Is the driver good? The pre-driver good? Just different things to look out. Let's say we have no modulation. Well, we know the microphone's good. We know all that is good to go. So we got to go down here to our AMC. This is our audio circuit. This follows back through down to our audio section as well. This is just the adjustment on the other side of the board. It goes down to where your AF circuit is, which is your audio frequency, which is your audio amplifier circuit. So this is a simplified way of breaking things down. Let's say you got no squelch. Well, right here's your squelch circuit. It says SQ. Well, let's go to our squelch circuit, find out what's going on. Flip the radio over, do your research. Do your troubleshooting. You got your IF stage, first and second stages. We don't have any receive coming in. Why? Well, let's check here. Do we have a signal? No. Well, let's go back further. Do we have a signal? So there's different ways to trace this out. It's a really, really nice radio to learn from, guys. They're not a complicated radio. Now the layout's a little strange, opposed to like a Cobra 29, etc. And you got to be careful with the PLL. This one here they've got, and you can tell it's original. It's actually still soldered down. They always did 2 crossway solder, and they just fold your tabs over on the opposite way. So this is all original right here. But you would have to unsolder these, which would be a little bit of a bear to clean up a little bit. Unfold the tabs, pop the cover out, and then you can get to the PLL chip to check voltages. But that's why they got them here, for the main information. So if you get all what you need here between voltages and or readings on your oscilloscope and or spectrum analyzer, if everything checks out here, then we go to our next step, transmit oscillator. And at that point we just kind of follow right along the circuit wherever it's got to go. So this is a really nice radio to learn from if you're getting into the hobby, and you really want to learn it for the passion and the skill. If you want to learn it for the right reasons like that, then this is the video to watch, guys. And this is the radio that you want to try to find on eBay somewhere. I got lucky with this one because it's very clean. It's all original on the inside, so I'm very happy for that. I just did one for Ed here a little while ago, and he had one with the power supply problem. If you guys remember that, we took pictures of it and put it on our community post as well. But this here is, like I say, it's a very nice radio, standard. Pop this up, you can see the PLL on the inside. Pretty straightforward, really. They didn't solder the top cover, just the bottom. Now remember we talked about the modulation, right? Well, if you flip that over, get the camera out of the way, AMC is right here. So if you flip this on over this way, AMC is going to be right there. That's going to be your modulation control right here. So now we can study, okay, what's happening. And for people that say, okay, well, that's your adjustment, but where's all the audio circuit? Well, right here's your circuit. That's your audio chip, audio output transformer. So this is all your section right here. Now this one, if I remember right, I could be wrong, I gotta look at the schematic, but I do believe this one runs I want to say a 1339 chip. It might run a 7205. Don't quite remember now. It's been so long since I've seen what was in here for a audio chip. Let me see if I can see what they were saying. Oh, okay. This one runs the 1156H. That's right, because I believe this is the 858 chassis. Let's take a look. I said it's been a while since I just did one for a gentleman, but I don't see enough of these to pay attention to them, really. Yep, that's the 858. No, 861. Oh, okay. So here's a little thing I forgot about, too, I want to share with you guys. This chip is actually interchangeable. That was the other benefit about this. I'm trying to remember the whole history of these radios now. It's been so long, but I've done so many of these over the years, but I haven't had a lot lately. So this is a UPD 861 PLL chip. You can actually take this out, put an 858 chip socket in there, put that chip in place of it, and you can modify this thing for 120 channels. So yeah, if you were to take that on out and put an 858 into it, you can do a lot more with this radio. Now, being it's only 40 channel AM, that's the downfall. It's not sideband, so you can lose out on those features, but you'd still have a lot more to gain. And then, of course, your VCO block is right here as well. So, okay. So, anyways, thank you for all the check-ins. But it is 20 after 7, and we gotta get rocking and rolling on this. So we're gonna be right back here shortly, and we'll get a video while we're working on this one and see how it all turns out. So we'll kind of go from there and see where it takes us to. Good morning, David. How are you? So, thank you all for stopping by, everybody, for your morning check-in. We'll see you again tomorrow morning with that. And we'll be back here in a few moments with we'll be back here in about 10 minutes. And we'll get onto this radio here. I got to take my daughter to around the corner to school here in a few moments. So we'll be right back shortly, and I'll see you in a few moments here at the DS Radio Shop.